Okay, first of all, let me, Martha, if you please stand. I don't know who's in here.
They have a chair.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is overwhelming.
You're getting ready to get even more over. You are the queen for the day. Martha Ann wants to say that she hopes everyone has on their old lady shoes today. I was told to say that. It's an honor to be here celebrating Martha Ann Ronsonet. I wanted to make it short, but I couldn't. I could actually spend the rest of the day talking about this amazing woman. But I'm just going to give you the highlights. Martha Ann is a native of Lake City, graduating from CHS and the University of Alabama. Sorry, it hurts. With a degree in home economics and human environmental science. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds good. Where she met her love, Norby, I guess he wasn't a senior then, where she met Norby, brought him back to Lake City, where they raised their 3 children, Norby Jr., Mitch, and Valerie. She began her love of gardening, going to garden club with her mother, Miss Gemma Stevens. To this day, she is using her mother's gardening tools. She used these tools to good advantage when she designed and landscaped this clubhouse and the arbor. In the 70s, Martha Ann joined the Hydrangea Circle, in time becoming a lifetime member of the Lake City Garden Club, where she served as president and the National Garden Club. Big time. She's an accomplished writer, publishing a book and many articles about the environment and gardening. Through her love of her community and its rivers, she's shared her talents with speaking to schools, area garden clubs, and businesses. Making lives better for hundreds of clients. She was a founding member of CARC in 1974 through the love of her precious daughter, Valerie. Martha Ann has been an active member of this community in more ways than I could list. Now you have the facts about Martha Ann. When I was given the honor of doing this introduction, I asked her family and friends to give me more. I wanted to dig up some dirt. It was real hard. What is Martha Ann really like? Well, one said, when you think of garden club, you think of Martha Ann Ronsonet. It just goes hand in hand. They've never heard her say an unkind word. Caring is the first word. She was at all my games, and she was always there. Her friends love her special jokes. That's all I'm going to say. Most cannot be told here. She is someone who inspires us all, but is best said by a family member, Kelly, who wrote this. I couldn't say it any better. Martha Ann Stevens Ronsonet is an iconic Southern lady, a true steel magnolia. With her quiet strength, beauty, and grace, she has touched so many lives. First and foremost, of course, are her family. A more devoted daughter, sister, wife, and mother could not be found. Through life's heartbreaks, she has weathered the storms like the majestic live oak, strong and true, and greeted life's joys with the simple beauty of a perfect white alba, Pinna camellia. She learned her love of gardening from her mother, and all of her years of knowledge was finally put into words with the release of her book, Gardening in the Deep South and Other Hot Pursuits, in 2012. Another one of her loves is the Itchtonia River, and she has passed that love on to her sons and from them to her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Not one of her family could ever think of the river without thinking of their Mimi. The same can be said for any Christmas holiday without a pot of gumbo and the best potato salad. She has 7 granddaughters and has graciously let numerous people trample through her gorgeous, and I want to emphasize gorgeous yard, for prom photos year after year. Not to mention one special wedding there was as well. Her amazing laugh is as bright as her generous spirit, and she is always there with a listening ear and a sweet hug. She gives advice without judgment and pure, unconditional love. We are also blessed to have her in our lives. Lake City is a more beautiful place because of Martha Ann Ronsonet. I made up a lot of that. Now, Martha Ann, would you like to?
Thank you, Melinda. I was a little nervous what she was going to say, but she did good. Later, we'll have the rest of it. Thank you all for being here. I just can't believe that. I'm proud of you for being here. And my sweet family, I didn't think they could get off work, even the people that are working at our businesses here. So I guess if y'all want a car, you'll have to wait till after. Trees and nature has always held a special place in my heart. I guess I can thank my mother and my grandmother, my mother's mother, Grandmother Ethel, who loved plants and being outside as much as I do. And every time we'd go visit my grandmother, she lived in Gainesville, close to the university, she would be invariably planting something or digging in the soil. But before we left, she would get my attention somehow, and she would tell me her favorite old Greek proverb, and that was, I can say it straight, she'd look down and look over her glasses like that, and she'd say, "Society becomes great when old men or old ladies plant trees whose shade they will never sit under." And then she would explain to me that it was an unselfish thing. And that's what we're doing today with the city's help. We planted a Shumard oak, about 8 feet tall. It's beautiful. It's not for us, it's for the future generations. And I'm just glad to have something to do with it, because planting a tree is a wonderful thing. I hope you noticed all the big old live oaks that are in the park. Somebody had the foresight to plant a long line of live oak trees, which happens to be my favorite tree. And I know they're centuries old, and the reason I know that, not just from looking at them, but underneath, right here in the center floor, there's a giant stump that I'm sure they had to cut down to build the original Woman's Club. It's huge, unbelievable. The dirt's still there and all the roots, I guess that's protected from decay. So we know this house is 100 years old. So we know if there's a stump that big, then all of them have to be huge. Do y'all have a favorite tree? My tree is the live oak, or an individual favorite tree. Mine is right over behind me on the north side. The garden club takes care of the grounds here. And it is a pleasure on a hot day to work under the big old tree out there. I think it's bigger than those along the way. It's just unbelievable. If you get a chance, be sure and look at it. Can you hear? Am I too close or not? Good. Arbor Day is an annual event. Like Mayor Witt said, Nebraska started the first one in 1782. And don't look.
I think that's close.
And they planted 1 million trees after Mr. Morton, who was the founder of Arbor Tree Foundation, just from his owning the paper and putting the word out of how important trees are. What do they do for us? Well, they provide oxygen, they provide food, they provide shelter, They provide habitat for birds and animals. Wouldn't you rather work under the shade of an oak tree than out in the sun? It's at least 20 to 45% cooler under a tree. They collect carbon dioxide, exhaust, and other harmful gases, and they collect them in their roots and their leaves, and they store them. When it rains, the leaves collect water, and the roots collect water, and then when they're ready, and during photosynthesis, you know what I'm trying to say. It releases the moisture back to the air until it's saturated enough to rain. So if we didn't have trees, it wouldn't rain. Also, you can plant a tree on the south side of your house, and it'll cool your air conditioner and your house, and you can save energy. I know we all know that. But the main reason I love trees, and I'm sure you do, is because they're both majestic and beautiful. The garden club, as I said, is what can I say? I want to thank everybody for hosting this. It's made it very special. I want to thank all of you for coming. And, there's one more thing trees do. If you, I know there's a lot more. Look it up. You'd be surprised. There's just pages and pages of stuff. But they can help you with the history of your family. The big oak tree in our front yard, our family planted it when Norby was 12 years old, and it was as tall as he was. You remember how little he was? Valerie was 10 and Mitchell was 7. And it grew along with our family, with us and the children. So that'll always have a special place in my heart. Thank you for coming today. Thank you to my friends who worked so hard to make this as nice as it is, for the organizers of Arbor Day. And I wanted to tell you the motto of the National Foundation of Arbor Day. We strive. Oh, let me see. I'll have to read it. I'm so sorry. And I did so good up to now. We inspire people to plant, nurture, and celebrate trees. And thank you again for coming and enjoy our refreshments. And the tree is out on the left on this south side of the house. It's already been planted by Thomas and his crew, and there's a huge plaque in front of it. and I'm very touched by it. Thanks so much.